I'm working on establishing more rainwater collection in our systems today, and part of that work is creating fittings that allow these tanks of water to communicate the water through garden hose. I'm going to share notes in this video on how I've learned to do that over the years. It's really inexpensive, really straightforward, so stick around. Just to give some context before I start in on this project, what I'm specifically working on is the bulkhead fitting of these IBC tanks. These are really great tanks for storing water. They hold up to 300 gallons, but it's tricky to figure out how to get the outlet to communicate with garden hose. In fact, this one has all sorts of rigmarole going on. I've got a 2-inch threaded PVC fitting to a 2-inch to 3/4 inch threaded reducer, and they're cemented together, and then a male 3/4, male 3/4. All of this adds up. It's complex. You need cement. It works, it's fine, but I wonder if there's a way we can do this that's a lot simpler and that might actually let us make good watertight penetrations through 5-gallon buckets and all sorts of other materials. Let's look at that instead. Basically what I need to do is be able to attach garden hose up to these tanks. Instead of buying all sorts of complex fancy fittings, I'm simply using the caps that they came with. Maybe you buy a tank and it doesn't come with this, that's a whole other story, but a lot of times they come with these. In the past, I've unthreaded them, recycled them, but here is this gasketed, ready to thread on cap at the bottom of the IBC. How do we get this to connect to garden hose? I've got this garden hose that I found on the side of the road. There's a theme here with all of our work is to try to start with materials we can find or salvage first. This looks like one that got hit by a lawnmower at some point. No worries, I can always take a pair of pruners and simply cut out the parts that are broken. That's a neat little side trick to know about. If you're doing gardening work, you often have pruners anyway. Now in this case, what I have here is garden hose. I selected this one because it is a 3/4 inch internal diameter, 3/4 inch ID. Standard garden hose can be 5/8 inch. You'll have to know that depending on what you have access to. I like this slightly thicker garden hose because it allows more water to flow through. And so I have various fittings. I have here from our local reuse store a threaded garden hose component to a 3/4 inch barb, and this fits right into the hose. Sometimes I'll need to heat it a little bit. In fact, this one will probably do well to be soaked in hot water. I'd like to be able to thread this piece into this plastic, or maybe I'd like to thread this piece into the side of a bucket or into any other material. So what I'm going to use is this cat Stanley. All of our animal friends are showing up in these videos more and more. I love it. What I'm going to use here is a 15/16 inch spade bit. I apologize to all of you that are in metric. It's a very reasonable system, but this time we're going imperial because that's what I have. I'll put up on the screen what the equivalent is in metric. But this very random bit size is the perfect bit for cutting a hole through plastic to allow the threading of garden hose threads. Excuse me just a moment. So what I'll do is take my cap, I put it on a block of softwood, so I have something behind it. I'll take my bit and push it right into the middle to set it, and then try to drill through in a smooth and even fashion. I make sure to hold it in a firm way so it doesn't spin and wobble around. And that makes the cut. Very, very straightforward. I've learned I want to take a blade of some sort, a knife, sand paper, if that's what you've got, and chamfer just a tiny, tiny bit of a edge on the side that I'm going to thread in. You can see I'm doing a very elegant job here. Rough still works. And then now I've got garden hose threading. Now in this case, it's 3/4 inch threaded garden hose to 3/4 inch barb, and I should be able to thread this in. It takes a fair bit of doing to get the ball rolling, and I want to make sure I'm nice and straight as I start it to get the threads going. Now that's not exactly perfectly straight, but that is nothing that Teflon tape can't fix. So even if I got it absolutely perfect, I would still always get Teflon tape on here. I go real liberal with this because this is a homemade solution. It is not going to be perfectly watertight on its own, although it's not bad. So it takes some doing. If you've got channel locks or pliers, it's much easier. That is a watertight fitting. These cost 59 cents. You can buy them online or from local hardware stores. And now I've saved having to buy new manufactured plastic to thread onto a tank. From here I can go to garden hose and onward. Part of the cool thing about this, about having a simple bit like this, is now all of a sudden, if you have any sort of hard plastic that you're trying to figure out how to thread in a garden hose fitting, for example this bucket, I could simply take that bit and on a flat surface, ideally the bottom, but near the bottom on the side works as well. I can drill the hole, chamfer it just a little bit, or shave it just a little to receive that threading, and then carefully work in the threading of a fitting, and then I've got a bucket that has a valve on it, or another tapped plastic container of any sort or shape can be set up to receive garden hose. I'm up here next to our neighbor's barn. We put up a very simple rudimentary gutter system. It's undersized for this roof, but it's what we had access to. And so what I want to do here is thread on this fitting that we just made in the backyard. A little wobbly, a little angled, but less new plastic, which is quite lovely. And so now I can just simply thread this on. This was the cap that came with this container. And it's already gasketed, it's already waterproof from the manufacturer. It's tilted in two directions, that's fine. And so now instead of putting on brand new purchased tubes, I can use reclaimed garden hose. Luckily this end is still intact, so I'm going to put that on the far end so we can attach other things to it. I can see where it's damaged here, so I'll choose to use it. We've got some nice hot water to soften up the hose. Depending on your scenario, you may or may not need that. It's a little bit of a ragged cut, but with a little compression, it fits right on. We're not dealing with really high pressure well pumps and all that kind of stuff. It's just gravity and one course of these containers. So sliding it on as far as I can should result in a waterproof fitting. The nice thing is if it drips here, okay, fine, I'll slip it off, I'll put a hose clamp and tighten it down. But if I don't need it, why put it on? It's just more material and more cost. It's really only taken a few minutes to get this far. You can see each of the bulkhead fittings are in, and then they can be sharing water amongst each other using these 3/4 inch barb T elements. These also can be $1 or so a piece if you get them in bulk. I bought a whole bunch of these way back when because I knew they'd be useful, and here they are being useful. And that's going to allow the incoming water from that tank to equalize. Basically all of them can share. Down the road I'll put overflow taps on top of a much larger diameter pipe and send the overflow somewhere meaningful off in the direction of our pond. But the rest of this should take just a few more minutes and only a few dollars in total, which is really nice. All 6 barrels are able to communicate with each other and share incoming water. I know there's so much more to be done with this. After a good rainstorm, I need to come out and check for leaks and add hose clamps as needed, add more plumber's tape if needed. There's a couple fittings, like this gray one here felt a little loose in there. It's just because it's an old used one, maybe the threads are stripped. If that's the case, I could always close the bulkhead valves and replace the part that didn't work out, rather than just buying everything new right out of the gate. It looks fine enough. The hose did a great job. I'm so thrilled that it can live here for a while instead of going right to the dump. There's still lengths of it left for another project. and we can monitor it after a good rain, figure out the downspouts, the filtering, all the other bits. Really important note I forgot to mention earlier, but hopefully is just self-explanatory. If you're trying this out, try it on plastics you don't care about at first. Take a lid of a bucket, take an old bucket that already has holes in it, learn the feel for it, learn the threading before you commit to that one nice 55-gallon drum you have. I made many a weird hole in these sorts of lids. You can even see some of them in this video, but they all generally work out with enough plumber's tape.